So if you're somebody that's been like sitting there for a year, I think I really want to start this business, or I have this idea. It brings me a ton of joy when I do it. I want to figure out, is there something here that I want to follow? And sometimes it starts to emerge as like this parallel. So let's say you're plugged in full time somewhere. It looks great on paper. You might still be actively enjoying that job. It doesn't have to be like you don't like it anymore, but this other thing starts to kind of come into play and you might not know what to do with it. So somebody in that phase, like we're still working with people in that phase all the way through to like that maturated state, phase 4 of like the business's launch. You need a brand, you need a website, all of like those tangible things that bring it into form. But a lot of it is mindset work to start. I had a friend of mine who said, I don't know why it's so hard for me to place a bet on myself. And it was such an interesting topic and conversation that emerged, because in that moment, I had to have her kind of like zoom out a little bit. And if she saw her and the move she was making and she was to place a bet on her, would she? And it was like, yes, because she's a boss. Like she knows what she's doing. And she absolutely will probably be on her own one day, because the free market pays really well for that level of skill. So I find that a lot of it is the mental part.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think about my start when I kind of first started in my entrepreneurship journey. And there was this side of, I didn't know, but I knew I couldn't stay. And then also this side of like, I have to build this like alter ego almost.
Yeah.
So that it's not Gina doing it. It's like me seeing myself as that person that I wanted to be.
It almost became the definition of a bit of an identity crisis for me, because I started to really see all the ways I needed to be and all the ways I needed to show up in order to not only survive in the environment, but thrive and be promoted and be in this space. But when you take the title away and you really just sit with, what does it mean to ask the question, who am I, without this title? Like if you woke up tomorrow and that title was gone, that job was gone for whatever reason, there you are sitting with yourself. And so this phase, like before a change, even if it's not like starting your own business, but it's, you've outgrown something. It doesn't serve the need anymore. It's rubbing against your values. You're in pain every day. You're like, this isn't who I am. I don't yet know who I am. That's like, the universe says, say less, and things can start to really break apart. But we want to normalize that part of the conversation, because I think what I sense is like when that stuff starts showing up for people and there's like maybe the identity crisis part of it, or my whole world has been ruptured and people are leaving and my job is gone and who am I in all of this, really lean into that time, because that is like the huge opportunity where there might be a blank canvas in front of you that you don't see, that can also be so stark, like white and bright, that it scares you a bit because you don't realize that you're still holding the paintbrush. But it's so part of the Brand Doula conversation is very much rooted in Gina and I both deeply understand every phase of this in a way that now is able to extract some wisdom and have some hindsight on it, so that we are really shepherding not just your ideas, but you through this process, so that you don't feel alone. But when you are in your own way, there's going to be some real talk, some loving real talk of let's reframe and work on some mindset stuff, because the version of you that's trying to emerge probably didn't have a place to fly before, and the wings might have been clipped. And so you know the superpower is there, but you've never really been able to fully flex it. That's really where we like to foundationally start, is giving people a place and space to fully stretch those wings and put their creative zone and genius into action. And we help kind of extract that. And when that's in that space, that's the intuitive space, the ethereal space of visioning. We are masters at taking that and translating it down into physical form and creating. And we receive that information of like the thing already exists, and we'll kind of get visions on the brand or the ideal drop in. And that's where there's a lot of ease and efficiency in how we work,